It is currently February the 27th, 2026 at 2:42 a.m. Central Time. I am Vic Valentine, and this is State of the Vnion, where I talk about real shit that I don't actually want to talk about during a playthrough of a game. Where I just talk about whatever real shit I feel like talking about. The last time and first time we did this, it was pretty fucking cringe. I basically had a fucking crash out, and it wasn't good, is what I'm trying to say. Which I don't regret making the thing. I think it was important for me to learn how to go about doing this in the future, in the here and now. But I think I think I have a good. I think I know how I want to do this going forward. I think step one to doing State of the Vnion is to not stream it. I think that was a horrible mistake. I think the pressure of eyes on me live was not what I needed in a setting like this. I think I needed to, take my time, think about things, measure them, speak them in a way that wasn't. I'm rambling. I'm rambling. I haven't learned anything. I never change. I never become better, and that's okay sometimes. Probably not this time, but sometimes. Let's get down to brass tacks. So last time was pretty cringe. It was me gushing about my emotions and shit. A bunch of icky shit that no one really cares about. Today we're going to be discussing the past and future of the Cornish Vikings channel, the Twitch channel and the YouTube channel, and other things. But before we get into that, there's a couple of things that I want to just yap about really quick. First of all, it is 2/27/2026, and the United States of America is still run by the current funny regime that, the clowns are in the office, the ice are kicking down the doors, stealing people for fun, that sort of shit. And so I would just like to tell everybody, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling afraid of what's going on in the world and the country today, get loud and get active. Fucking tell people about it. Tell the right ones about it. Because until there's a boot heel in every ice MAGA asshole, and until there's a blade on every clown neck, this isn't gonna stop. What's happening here isn't gonna stop, and nothing is gonna be learned. And even when those things do come to pass, it's still... there's still work to be done after the fact. But that's not what I came here to... Wow. I opened this with a fucking political rant. That's how you know... so much for promising not to be cringe. I guess I'm a liar. I'm sorry about that. Second topic. Before we get into the real shit. Well, I guess this is all real shit, but... The thing that I wanted to talk about... this is sort of... another impromptu thing that came up literally last night as I was going to bed and just wiki diving into a fucking rabbit hole. I'll start with the conclusion. Sorry I keep clearing my throat. I should get some water. Hydrate. I am slightly more hydrated now. I'll start with the conclusion. I think I might be aro. I think I might be aromantic. Which, if you're not familiar, I'm barely familiar myself. The only reason I know the term exists is because of a strange Wikipedia rabbit hole I went down last night as I was trying to go to sleep. I was thinking about my life, the way I've lived it up until this point, and one search led to another, and suddenly I get the feeling that I don't think I've ever actually romantically loved anyone in my life before. I think I must be misremembering. I think I must be misremembering, right? I think surely there's someone in my life that I've loved in that way. I've had plenty of platonic friends, and I have, you know, familial love for my parents and brother and grandparents and such, but, like, romantic love, I don't know if I've ever actually thought. Like, all that shit they talk about in, like, songs and shit and, like, movies is, like, it's nice, and they paint a pretty picture about it, and it seems, you know, it seems pleasant. I can't remember ever actually experiencing that genuinely. If I have, it was significantly weaker than what, again, the songs make it seem like, to the point that I'm now doubting whether I've actually done it or not. Which, you know, hi, Vic Valentine, the Lord of all love. As the inventor of the concept of love, that sounds crazy to think about, but I think it might be true. But I'm not about to fucking shoehorn a new tag onto my fucking profile for something that's not a sure thing, for something that I haven't researched enough. And even then, like, I'm not the kind of person to, like, exploit that shit for, like, views or clout. Like, that's fucking disgusting. I hate shit like that. Like, I could have put, like, fucking autism or Asperger's in the fucking, like, Twitch tags and YouTube tags and shit, but, like, I didn't want to do that because that just feels, like, fucked up. Not fucked up, but, like, I don't know. I feel like people, it's more important for that shit to kind of come up organically in making content than to try and, like, milk your own life for money. I don't know. Which, you know, there's no money right now, but more on that later. Yeah, that's all I wanted to yap about that. Your boy might be Arrow. I'm thinking I might be Arrow, but it's just a thought right now. It's just it's not a sure thing. It's just something it's an epiphany, I guess. It made me think about my life and go, wow, hang on, maybe. Anyway, that could be the topic of a whole entire other State of the Vnion, where I just yap about my my life, my romantic, or I guess aromantic life, and how I got here, and all the steps along the way, some of the mistakes I made, some of the right calls I made, you know, just what have you. Do as I say, not as I do type shit. Let me lead by example, and if I fuck up, you can do the opposite, or whatever that fucking line from JJK was. I don't remember. All right, that's enough emotional oogie ushy gushy shit. All right, we're here to talk about real shit now. The reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. My streaming anniversary is coming up in about a month. I've been making content for YouTube and Twitch for almost a year now, which is crazy to think about. It's crazy to think it's already been a year. It only feels like it's been a couple of months. And when I look back at all the progress I've made, how far I've come as a streamer, as an entertainer, it's interesting, right? Because I've made plenty of missteps. I've made plenty of bad decisions and rough videos that sucked. And a lot of shit that'll never see the light of day because it was too cringe, right? But when I think about my hopes for when I started streaming, and for where I was hoping to be by this point, I didn't hit that point. I wanted to be monetized on the platforms I'm on, and that hasn't happened. That super hasn't happened, and that was stupid and foolish of me to hope for that. However, looking pessimistically and cynically, if you look at the floor of where I was expecting to be at this point, I was expecting literally 0 people to be feeling like shit. And it turns out that my 2 subscribers currently on YouTube and my 36 followers on Twitch, I'm estimating about a third of those are real people and not bots, have proven me otherwise. I am literally better than the bottom of the barrel. People are noticing my shit, they are feeling my shit. And that's about as close to like ideal middle of the road. Like, yeah, this is the right decision. I can keep doing this. I can improve, and this can be a thing that can happen. I'm not discouraged. I'm actively looking forward to what this next year is going to bring, and I'm going to try and bring more of myself to the table to try and, you know, get something, like, more than just a hobby, more than just doing this for fun, to try and get, you know, money out of this. That's why a lot of people do this, right? People don't spend their free time recording videos and streaming for the love of the game necessarily, although I kind of do at this point. It's actually been really fun. But the dream is to get the unrealistic one is to try and get some amount of ka-ching out of it to, you know, help me be alive and stuff, to help us be alive when we do this. And that hasn't happened yet, which, like I said, it was my highest hope that I at least got monetized by this point. I know that was unrealistic, but I think I landed exactly where I reasonably expected I would be at this point. I think this little experiment was a huge, rousing success, and I'm proud to keep going for the foreseeable future. So, what is the foreseeable future? Well, the biggest thing I want to talk about, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is I'm thinking of starting a Patreon. Not for... Well, okay. So the Patreon that I'm envisioning might feature a couple of videos that were maybe too risky for YouTube, or unedited videos that had to be edited down in some way. You know, I'm thinking about the birthday stream where I opened cards and I had well, actually, no, never mind. Maybe I don't actually want to do that. Maybe that's a bad idea. Never mind, forget I said anything. I don't know. There's a possibility that some riskier business might be coming in the future. Probably not, but you never know. And so I wanted to... Wow, 13 minutes? That's actually... Sorry, I just checked the recording time. We're only at 13 minutes. Hell yeah. That's actually ideal. Perfect, even. Sorry, I got distracted during my big important talk. Well, god damn it, I lost my train of thought. Patreon. So there's a possibility that there might be some content that YouTube didn't like that might have to wind up on Patreon at some point. That hasn't happened to me yet, but it could happen in the future. I'm always open to the idea of it happening in the future. But more than that, I want it to be a place where I can express myself creatively in a different sort of sense. YouTube and Twitch has been pretty good to me so far as making content, as far as me making like reaction videos to video game presentations, and playing through games I like, and playing through games that I've, you know, blind for the first time, right? Full playthroughs, little one-offs, you know, all the fun stuff I've been doing lately. But I've always been in love with drawing, right? Ever since I was a kid. I drew, you know, I would draw little fucking shitty doodles for my grandma and for my folks, and, you know, I would draw at school and shit. And it got to the point where actually taking a couple of, like, computer and animation courses in high school actually led me to the point where it was it was suggested to me, like, enough people were noticing what I was making in high school that has never seen the light of day on the internet and never will. That they were like, yo, you should actually, like, pursue this as, like, a career. So I went to a community college and I took some art courses. I took a drawing course and then I took a video game design course, which that super didn't go anywhere. Well, I guess it could still go somewhere. I learned how to use GameMaker, barely, but it's been fucking over 10 years since I've touched it, and game making is not on the table for me right now, but art is. Art and drawing are both very much in the realm of what I'm willing to do, what I feel comfortable posting on the internet. And so I would like to begin, recently, this last year, I picked up a drawing tablet, and I've been teaching myself how to draw digitally, because all my drawing experience, with the exception of, like, you know, with the exception of, like, MS Paint and stuff, like, I had basically next to no, and like, MS Paint and pixel art, basically, in GameMaker, I had, like, no real drawing experience digitally. All my drawing I was learning was, you know, sketching in notebooks and, like, shading, like ink shading and like charcoal type shit, you know. But like I've had ideas in my head for a very long time. On top of a lot of my other afflictions, or whatever you want to call them, I also happen to be a maladaptive daydreamer. And when I'm at school, or when I'm at work, well, I haven't been in school in over 10 years. When I'm at work, or when I was in school as a kid, in order to cope with the fact that life was boring and sucked shit, I would, you know, basically write, conjure stories in my head that, characters, stories, you know, shit in my head that I always wanted to put to reality, but I never actually did, because when was I gonna find the time to do that, right? But the older I get, and the less time I have, ironically, the more I realize, like, well, time's not just gonna make itself for me. I have to make the time where I'm able, right? So if I'm gonna put any of these ideas I've had cooking in my head forever into reality, then I need to do it now. I need to do it now while the iron is hot, basically. And so, I'm actually going to start drawing things and posting them to my Patreon, completely for free. You don't, the only thing I will ever put a paywall on Patreon is if in the earlier scenario I was describing, if I have to put a video on there that YouTube didn't like. That's the only time that would come up, basically. All of my art on the Patreon is going to be completely for free, and it's not going to be like just in case anyone gets their hopes up or whatever. It's not going to be like full renders or anything. I'm just talking very basic drawing, like very basic drawing, shading, coloring. You know, nothing a professional artist would charge money for, right? The kind of thing a professional artist would put WIP, and it's actually like a pretty fucking good drawing of a thing, right? Not literally perfect, not the craziest thing ever, but still really good, right? That's the kind of thing right? I'm working on. Well, that I will be working on in the future. Have you all reset? No. Cool. The art isn't necessarily the point. The point is to put myself and my ideas, my creations out there and try to, like, I don't know, I guess validate the fact that I was alive in this world or something to contribute. I don't know. But if you like my YouTube videos, if you like the Twitch streams, and you want to support me in a way that's more direct, you want to make sure I eat good more frequently than not at all, you know. Which I'm not gonna fucking beg anyone for money or ask anyone to fucking pay me. Like, we're all going through shit right now. It's one of the worst years to be alive in a long time. We all need what we can get to take care of ourselves. I'm not gonna ask anyone outside of their means to, you know, support my dumbass. Unless you're really feeling my shit. If you feel like I feel like $5 a month is a pretty good price point for just, you know, supporting the show, supporting my creative endeavors, right? If any of this feels worth $5 once, like even like it doesn't even need to be $5 a month, right? You could pay $5 once, cancel, and then that's still a lot, man. Like, that would still mean a lot to me, you know? I don't know. This is all shit that I need to figure out later, right? Maybe that's too high of a price point. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's being worked on. It's being worked on, and we're gonna have it when the time has come for me to have it. But for right now, life has been very busy, and I don't actually have the time I would like to dedicate to actually making the Patreon thing a reality yet. Let y'all know in a couple of months how that's going, basically. So, all of that being said, there's only one other thing that I really feel compelled to talk about at this point. Hey, whoa, that was crazy. Don't think too deeply on any of that shit you just seen. Anyway, the last thing that I wanted to talk about in the State of the Vnion address was, I guess, content on the channel, right? Because I've done gimmicks like Mom Says We Have Fire Emblem at Home, where I look at strategy RPGs for like an hour and then never play them again, right? I've done full playthroughs of games. I've done little quick looks into games, and then I fell off of them. So I guess a lot of people out there, I would imagine if you were watching and a game stopped being played for one reason or another, or I was playing a series and it's like, well, what happened to the rest of it? What happened to the rest of these? Well, this is where I want to yap about that for a moment. And in order to do that, actually, I think it'll be faster to show you than... I have one other thing that I need to talk about tonight in this State of the Vnion, but in order to do that, I think it's fastest if I show you the list. Now, the list... This is something that I compiled actually before I ever started making content. I compiled this like last March, so almost a year from now, as sort of a basic guideline to what I wanted, or what I thought I would want, how I wanted my streams to go, basically. So this games I wanted. This is a hit list, basically, of all the games that I wanted to play. Um, and to complement this list, I actually had recorded a YouTube video that is lost to the light of day because it sucked shit, where I played Guess the Game and used Guess the Game to like give me ideas for shit that I hadn't considered, or there are a lot of games out there I haven't considered literally everything, right? And you know what? It's a new year. There's new shit coming out that I haven't thought of yet. I think it's time we revisit this list that I'm showing you for the first time and see what's happening. If I go all the way down, whoa. Break glass. Okay, I guess that was shit that was never supposed to happen. Completed. Oh, I guess I have revisited this because I did complete Jack 1. That did happen, and these are all series that are okay. So let's look at some of this. Basically, Astrobot 100%. That happened. That straight up happened. Hang on. Yeah. That happened. I did that. We no longer need to think about that. Monster Hunter Wilds was a game that I was actually planning to be one of my first streams. That is still very much on my mind. It's still on the table. I hear that the DLC makes it run better on PC, but I have the PS5 version, so that probably wouldn't have been an issue anyway. I've never been the biggest Monster Hunter fan in the world. I played Worlds, and I thought it was fine, but I couldn't stay motivated to do the post-game content because it was just like, man, I had a fucking life. I don't want to do the real game. I don't want to play the real Monster Hunter. I would rather just, play through the thing and see what happens. But that's still on the table. Final Fantasy XIV, New Game Plus and current. So I've kept pretty good about playing the patches as they've come out. And I like to think I've gone at a reasonable pace as far as the MSQ goes. But that has been on my mind. I have been getting there's a FF14 shaped hole in my heart that I would like to fill. And so right now the only game I'm playing is Colosseum. I'm playing Colosseum to completion. We're catching Ho-Oh, and then I'm done with Colosseum. And then it'll be time for other things. And I would like FF14 to be my long stream day game again for the next one. When we're done with Colosseum, we will be hopping back on 14. Legend ZA and Time Stranger and Jack 2 and Jack 3, all of these happened. These all happened. I was there. Some of y'all were there. For some of them. The Daxter PSP 100%. 100% is probably not happening. I'm going to change that to completion. Some of these 100% were made in a younger, more naive... Vic was still in his 20s when he said completion. That's not... 100% rather. That's probably not happening, but I do want to play the Daxter at some point. Sly 1, 2, and 3 also want to happen. Those games are fucking incredible. They're some of my favorites. And when I'm done with the PS2 Ratchets, I would like to hit up the Slys at some point. But those aren't going to be for a very long time. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. So, Zelda turned 40 this year, and I didn't get to celebrate it properly because I had other plans. But I do want... Well, first of all, Zelda Wind Waker happened. This one... No, not you, Twilight Princess. This one did happen. The Ocarina, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Minish Cap, Zelda 1, Link's Awakening, Oracle, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, Link to the Past. Sure. Whatever. I do want to play a Zelda game this year. In fact, I think I do want to play a Zelda game this year. That is going to have to wait for Coliseum to be done. I think once we're done with Coliseum, when we're done with Coliseum, I'm going to be playing a bunch of blind shit for the shorter late night streams. And then we're going to be doing a special playthrough of a certain game for our year anniversary, which I've decided will be April 1st, April Fool's Day. And some of you out there may be thinking to yourself, Vic, aren't you already the Lord of Valentine's Day? Why do you want to be greedy and have 2 holidays to yourself? Are you Jack Skellington? Are you fucking, like, that ego-driven? I'm not, but trust me, I think you're going to appreciate what I end up doing with the April Fool's Day bit. But once the April Fool's Day playthrough is done, then we can talk about doing another Zelda. And it is going to be one of the Zeldas from this list, if that, makes you feel better. Pokemon Fire Red actually comes out on Switch tomorrow. That wasn't on my bingo card when I made this list last year. That's crazy. I'm not playing Fire Red. Okay. So I'm never gonna say never to most of the. Hey, I'm playing through Coliseum right now. Some of y'all literally saw me playing it earlier. How about that? Legends Arceus, whatever. What the fuck ever. This will happen when it happens. I don't have any immediate plans for the good Pokemons, and I know Fire Red comes out tomorrow on Switch. I don't know that I'm gonna be playing it on Switch. I might, but I don't know. We'll see. But no immediate plans for Pokemon other than Coliseum right now. I told myself I wanted to do XD when I was done with Coliseum, but that's not going to happen for a little bit. So, yeah. Hundred Line. So this is a game I left on a cliffhanger. I beat Season 1 of 100 Line. I beat Route 0. And I still haven't been back for Season 2. I want to do 100 Line, though, super bad. I want to get through the other routes this year, for sure. So I think once I've played FF14 to the point where I'm satisfied with my progress in 14, I would like to switch over to 100 Line and try and get through the other routes in 100 Line. So 100 Line's going to come after the next chunk of 14, basically. Pokemon Battle Revolution, that's a conversation we can have another time. Digimon Cyber Sleuth is not happening anytime soon. That's probably not going to happen this year. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do desperately want to play this game and Hacker's Legacy as well. Or Hacker's Memory, whatever the fuck it's called. Because they are phenomenal video games, and I want to share them with you at some point. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. I have been thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Lately. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a Master Duel thing, or Legacy of the Duelist could be a fun time. I wasn't thinking about it. Because to be honest, I feel like I've been playing too many games that I know and not enough things blind. So I want to play some blindies first. But that could be a fun one to check out, I think. Pokemon Rescue Team, Pokemon Sky. Those are definitely gonna happen. Probably not anytime soon. Maybe not even this year. But I actually Last year, around, I want to say like September, October, fall of last year, I was actually getting the itch for Mystery Dungeon when I found out that Red Rescue Team was on Switch. And I actually did start a file of Red Rescue Team. I didn't finish it, it's still in progress, but I did actually start it. And I considered doing an impromptu little stream situation of uh, of Rescue Team. But then I thought to myself, like, no, that's gonna take too much. I don't have time for this right now, as much as I would love to. So that's gonna wait for a bit. Pokemon TCG fucking rules. I would love to play that at some point, but now is not a good time. These are probably not gonna. The Digimon DS games are not gonna be full playthroughs. I can tell you right now. I fucked around with them a little bit. I know I fucked around with them enough to know that these are not full playthroughs. That can go fuck itself. Final Fantasy. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 again, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2. I don't know when I'm gonna do these. I would like to do them. But here's the thing, any Final Fantasy I play, that's not true. I can make the Final Fantasies work as like a short stream game, especially like the old ones that they're only like 10, 20 hours tops. Those could be a good short late night stream game. But I don't know. Those are not in the cards right now, but they might be in the future. Chrono Trigger. So it says blind right here. I have actually played Chrono Trigger a little bit. I got to the fight with Magus, and then Magus stomped my shit in, and then I quit playing. And I haven't been back yet, so I've never finished Chrono Trigger, but I did start it. It's a really fucking cool game, and I would love to finish that on stream. That would be so fucking cool. Halo 1 and 2. These are games I loved when I was a kid. I never owned them for myself. I would go over to my friend's house and play fucking, multiplayer fucking with them. But I've never actually played the campaign. I think I tried doing the campaign one point, but it kept getting interrupted by, life, parents, chores and shit. So like that ended up not happening. Halo's actually been on my brain a lot recently. So I would expect Halo 1 at least this year. Maybe. Brawl actually happened. We did do Brawl. That was something. I'm not the most proud in the world of my Brawl subspace playthrough, but it is the one that we've got. I'm not fucking redoing that whole entire shit just to, get the perfect run. Like, no, we're not doing that. Smash Ultimate. Is that World of Light? Oh, World of Light, huh? I wrote World of Light. I don't want to play Smash right now. Smash is not on my mind right now. Mario Galaxy. I actually really fucking love this game. I don't know. This one's a long way away. Galaxy 2, Sunshine, Odyssey, 64. Metroid might happen in the near future. The only Metroid okay, I've beaten Super Metroid, and I played the start of Metroid Prime, and I played Metroid on NES and didn't love it. But I think I'm told that Zero Mission is a sort of remake of the original Metroid, or at least in terms of the story. I think there is a high possibility that I could do a Zero Mission playthrough in the future. Just because I've always been I loved Super Metroid. I loved what I've played of Metroid Prime. I want to be a Metroid fan. I just haven't played the games yet. So I want my Metroid journey to begin this year. And I think I'm gonna start with Zero Mission. But that'll be soonish. Dot hack. Don't worry about dot hack for now. Holy moly! Zelda Skyward, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Those are not happening anytime soon. FF12, 13 and 13-2, and 15 and 16. Those are not happening anytime soon. Portal 1 and Portal 12. Oh no, sorry, it's Portal and Portal 2. The font makes the L look like a 1. I actually played a good chunk of Portal 2 when I was a kid at a buddy's house, but I never finished it. Portal's not going to be anytime soon. Don't expect Portal anytime soon. It's on the list, but not right now. Spyro. Let's get through Ratchet first, then we can talk about Spyro. Maybe. Melee, I don't know what the fuck this means. I don't know why I wrote this goddamn game down. Smash Melee doesn't really have anything that's worth completing in it. This would just be for fucking shits and giggles, I guess. This would be like a one-off stream for fun, I guess. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Earthbound, Earth Mother 3, these are not happening anytime soon. I actually tried playing Shining Force 3, my PC didn't like it, so I need to figure out something else to do here. I did technically play Shining Force 1 for a little bit, but that's not a full playthrough. This deserves a full playthrough. This game fucking rules. And I didn't give that to you when I played it. I don't know when I'm gonna be willing to do it, but future. Lego video games. Psychonauts, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Time Split. Kingdom Hearts. Wow. A lot of things. Okay, Bully has actually been on my mind lately as something that I would consider doing soonish. I just don't know when. LA Noire could be a good time. Banjo, Conquer, Crash. Why the fuck did I put Crash on this list? I don't even like Crash 1, the little I played, but I guess I'll play Crash at some point. Fire Emblem. Huh. So, they've actually announced a new Fire Emblem since I made this list. That should actually be coming out sometime this or next month. No, isn't it coming out in April? I think they set the release date to sometime in April, so that might happen. I will try to do a stream and full playthrough of that game. And I actually, so I may have mentioned it during the Mom Says We Have Fire Emblem at Home series I did. I actually mentioned that I wanted to play a real Fire Emblem for my birthday stream. That didn't happen because I ran out of time. I fucked around and I ran out of time. So, I was actually going to stream Path of Radiance, FE9. And the thing is, I still want to do that. Fire Emblem has been on my mind, and I would like to play that recently. I don't think I'm going to stream 9. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to play it off stream and record it. Do pre-recorded YouTube Let's Play videos for 9. However, I'm currently working on Yakuza 0 off stream in the same sort of style. So once I'm done with Yakuza 0, then we can talk about Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, basically. But the rest of these are the rest of these. GTA, I don't know when I'll do any of these. Hey, Stories, Monster Hunter Stories 3 was announced. I actually have the demo of it on my PS5 right now. Don't know when or if I'll get around to them. Mario RPGs, these I want to play at some point, but, you know. Astral Chain, F-Zero, Cave Story. I still don't fully know what Cave Story is. I just know that people speak so fucking highly of it. It's like everyone's favorite game ever. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I want to play it. Shovel Knight, Nier, Pokemon Conquest. Fun fact: I almost played Pokemon Conquest as a part of Mom Says We Have Fire Emblem at Home. I ultimately decided not to because I actually wanted to give this a fair shake. Try and go for a full playthrough if at all possible. Digimon 3, Pokemon Why did I write Pokemon Ranger? AI the Somnium Files. Wow. No sleep for Kadame Date was announced at this point. That's pretty crazy. I thought that was like later that year. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to any of these. FFT, FFTA, FFTA2, Duelist of the Why did I write Duelist of the Roses? Do I want cock and ball torture? Am I stupid? Am I a fucking idiot? Digimon Survive. Do I want to play Digimon Survive? I don't, actually. Type Z... Oh, boy. Mario... Bayonetta. Yoshi Store... Dragon Quest 11. 3... Arkham Asylum. Arkham City. What does Break Glass mean? Why is Dot Hack 2, 3, and 4 under Break Glass? Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days. Dragon Quest 8 and 9. You know what? I'll add 7 on that list. I hear 7's pretty fucking good. You just got a remake. Drakengard. Don't know why Drakengard's on there. Half-Life. Why is Half-Life here? Saga. Oh, is that like, sure. Tevi? What the fuck is Tevi? Why did I write Tevi? This must have been one of those games that I saw when I was doing the Guess the Game, I think. And I was like, maybe. Mass Effect, Bioshock, Grim Fandango. Okay. So we need to talk about this, because this has actually been on my mind a lot lately. I think once I'm done with Pokemon Coliseum, and I have a little bit more time to fuck around, I want to play a Bethesda game, because I've never actually played an open-world Bethesda game before. I'm thinking about Oblivion, because Oblivion was the first one I ever heard about as a kid. I heard all my friends talking about it, how it was the coolest shit in the universe. I've never played one of these. I think if I fool around with any of these for any length of time, I want my first to be Oblivion. So you can expect Oblivion in the near future. Witcher, Dragon Age, Horizon, Outer Wilds, Mario Land. Fuck it. Stadium 2. I actually did start a Stadium 2 randomizer. I also did Master Duel for a little bit. These... You know what? Nah, we can... This is so stupid. I'm not fucking... Spyro? I already wrote Spyro. I already wrote Lego. What do you mean by Spyro? Other Oracle? No. Stop it. Fire Emblem 2. Huh. Yeah, maybe. Pokemon Snap. Do I want to play Pokemon? What do you mean Crash? Question mark. Silent Hill. Ooh. You know, I'm just gonna fucking... We're not even gonna talk about that. fuck that can go fuck itself. I have been in a hankering. I think this year is the year that I'm gonna break the glass on me playing spooky games. I try to stay away from. Well, no. Let me put this another way. I've been afraid to play spooky games on stream because I'm a bitch pussy baby and I'm gonna piss and shit my pants live on TV and I don't want that. But I know that's why people watch that shit, right? Now, to be fair, I have watched playthroughs of Silent Hill. I do sort of know the gist, and it's one of those things where it's like watching someone else play a fucking old PS1 game versus playing a weird PS1 game yourself. It's a completely different thing, but I'm willing to fucking give that a go round. Punch Out? What? Donkey Kong? Why did I write? Why did I write half of this shit? Uh. Toho. Go fuck yourself, Toho. What else do we got here? Zero, Metroid, Fury. I think Fury is another game that I didn't know what it actually was, but I saw it somewhere. I think on the Guess the Game. Dissidia, Warriors, Stranger of oh boy, The Witness. Sure, man. And then we have a bunch of other shit that I didn't feel compelled to write down each individual games. Ratchet, we're gonna get back at Going Commando at some point. Let's get through. Actually, when am I gonna play Ratchet Going Commando? We'll figure that part out later. Shadow of the Colossus. Okay. RE9 actually just came out like today, I think. And apparently it's one of the best games I've ever fucking made. But I have very little Resident Evil experience, so I would like to start with the beginning. I would like to play RE1 sometime this year. Ace Attorney has also been on my mind lately. I've only played the first 4 games as well as Great Ace Attorney. I would like to play 5 and 6 live on stream, completely blind, but I would also like to revisit 1 through 4, just, to set up for it, I guess. DK, Donkey Kong. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. Katamari could be fun. Yakuza. Hey, I'm playing Yakuza 0 right now. Still. Dead Cells, Hollow Knight. I played Hollow Knight this year. Well, last year. That's a playthrough that's not going to continue, but I do want y'all to know that I have been playing it off stream. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I don't know if I'll ever revisit it, but I've had a good time with it so far. Blasphemous, Castlevania, Vanilla, Condemned, Max Payne, Diablo, fucking Agarest War. Why did I write this shit? Night in the... Ooh. Fable, Duel Master, Tony Hawk. I played a little Tony Hawk this last year. Star Wars, Legacy of Kain. Legacy of Kain has been on my mind as well. This is something I'm thinking about. Don't know when, but it's fresh in my brain right now. Animal Crossing. I did actually play a little bit of Animal Crossing as well. Cyberpunk, Jazzpunk, Gears of Marvel, XCOM, Triangle, Jet Set, Arcadia. I don't know what Skies of Arcadia is exactly, other than it's a JRPG, but it's been on my brain lately. I did play Dark Deity 2. I also started Dark Deity 1 off stream, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Dark Deity, but I'm glad it's here so that I can think about it. Voices of the... Really? I wrote this down as like a game for me to play? Why would I do that? Minecraft, Telltale... Oh, I played Dispatch this year. I did a full playthrough of Dispatch this year. Do I add it to the list? I guess I'll add it to the list. There we go. Ape Escape. I could go for an Ape Escape, honestly, but I don't know when I would fit it in. But yeah, that's the list. This has been a wild revisit, but yeah, that's what the next couple of streams are gonna look like, basically. I don't want to give away too much. I like keeping some cards in my pocket, but I think this will give you a pretty good idea of what to expect in the future and how to expect it. I would like to look up real quick while I have the list open. I don't know when I'm ever going to revisit this list again. No, fuck it. We're done. This has been State of the Union, State of the Vnion 2/27/2026. Thank y'all for letting me yap about this, all of this stuff tonight. Take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and slap that subscription bell if that's something you feel like you would enjoy doing. This has been State of the Vnion. Good night, everybody.